Welcome. I'm so glad that you can join me here today. 190. Excerpts from The Sovereign Light, A Course in Metaphysical Spirituality. Sovereign Light Ministry is... it's named after my ministry, The Sovereign Light, rather, and my name is Reverend Maria Arvanitides. I hope you enjoy this segment, excerpts from 5:16 and 17 from that novel. Shall we begin? And I thought this would be most appropriate. Eating flesh and drinking blood was from a lineage passed on and in its place as bread and red wine perspective, passing on this information to behold as holy, to emerge and see the world when put to practice. And today's affirmation, the idea to allow to reverberate throughout your day. Breathe it in and let it sink in as you find that still point, center, and welcome home. You can opt to have your eyes closed or open, and here we go. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. To share this story and entrust the outside world that it may see it as wholesome action and be made applicable somewhere in that slice of time, this space it had expanded into and held a sense of being incorruptible. In order to dissolve the breeding information that imprinted and enshrined within the self, this was instead imposing as its guardianship, and from the consumed perceived state that can be forever worshipped in this way, it had done well. Not every life's passage has it through in this version as such. The crucifixion is only but one viewpoint and leading to the same result in resurrection. The entire concept was to startle into waking up, and that some external force outside of the self could be responsible. Creator did not bleed to death, and from the very same blood it was created the self. That's a false bloodshed. Mankind cannot bleed in this way to make sacrifice in order to give birth, only to kill another and take a life and consume it and eat it. So the power struggle has had an over fascination in conflicts to resolve, and with much bloodshed, that it may restore through death that which it held on for its creation. The peace is in the self-discovery to create, not in the power to procreate the life out of death and distort perception of immortality. The awakened self cannot pretend it simply makes real through its certainty and faith, and to believe in all that it thrives to be is from its passion-driven inspiration. It is not fooling anything to think this way. To doubt by caring more about the reflection in the mirror than in the light from within is disillusionment. Immaculate is the light that can create reflection, is the mind not awakened to its source that is self. Even on a cellular level, the cell does absorb the light. It's a receiver. And with it, it awakens to the information and activates the DNA and the genetic strands. Eventually, the sleeping mind and suffering heart will awake from death to living life again. Today, practice what it would be like to really live life where there is no death and where the heart is open to not suffer from constriction. The only thing it needs to feed on is the soothing energy of mana, and that is the nurturing value for its economic inner development that we see as money, and that again is a false representation of our own energy, that we are just livestock, like farm animals being fed in enslavement. And the more constricted we are, compressed, the more our light comes out to feed upon. So find the purpose of this innocence and recognize the authentic brilliance. Accept of this responsibility as sovereign light. Take ownership of your light as creator presence that is you, the self now, here, present, 100% fully. And with this idea, you can start to open your eyes or keep them closed until this segment is over. I will repeat the affirmation for the day and hope that it might resonate. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way. look at the bigger picture. Now with eyes open and see the savagery and the money that the plane is bringing to the farmers living off the land, the earth that feeds them as they harness nature in this way. And then look at the savagery that we promote in sports and just throw money down like it's rain. And the farmers are just like, wow. You see that? So look at the bigger picture, and I will leave you with that for today. And I am thankful for your presence. It's been an honor and a blessing. I cannot think to be saved from savagery by consuming in another, and that they may be worshipped by me in this way.